This is Fox 5 News Morning.
Happening right now at 7 o'clock, President-elect Donald Trump causing confusion following late-night tweets taking aim at the intelligence community. This as he gets support, apparently, from WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange.
And what happened to this Montgomery County man this morning? New clues in his disappearance more than a week after he was last seen. We're live with the very latest.
Heard her yelp, and I thought she was gone.
A Maryland dog owner pleading for answers after his beloved dog was shot on his own front porch. That dog suffering serious injuries. This morning, the search is on for the gunman.
And a traffic alert on this Wednesday, January 4th, 2017. Take a look. Our crew's live at Aspen Hill, Maryland, where all lanes of Connecticut Avenue are blocked at Grand Prix Road. This due to that large tree that's down. Heads up if that's the way you head into town. Again, Connecticut Avenue blocked in Aspen Hill. Good Wednesday morning to you. I'm Allison Seymour.
And I'm Steve Shenevy. Welcome to Fox 5 News Morning. More traffic ahead, plus today's mild forecast ahead of a big cool down. That's all coming up at 7:05. But first, let's get right to the headlines now. Developing overnight, 5 suspected ISIS members have been rounded up and arrested in Turkey. There is no word if they are actually linked to the deadly New Year's nightclub attack in Istanbul. Officials say the suspects were picked up in a port city on the Aegean Sea. The nightclub gunman still on the loose. ISIS did claim responsibility for the attack, which left 39 people dead and 70 more injured.
Breaking right now in China, a knife attack at a kindergarten leaves 11 students injured. Chinese media says a man climbed over the wall of the school and then attacked the students. Thankfully, they are not seriously injured. The suspect is now in custody.
All right, let's get to the latest now in the Trump transition. The president-elect tweeting last night that an intelligence briefing he's due to get on the Russian hacking scandal was delayed until Friday. Mr. Trump went on to say perhaps more time is needed to build a case. Very strange. Maureen Ume joins us now with the very latest on this. Mo?
Thanks, Steve. The president-elect continues to cast doubt on the claims that Russian hacking influenced the 2016 presidential election. His tweet indicates officials are delaying their briefing with him, but top intelligence officials say the meeting was always planned for this Friday. The back and forth comes as WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange talks with Fox News and makes new comments that seem to align with Trump. WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange denies Russian hackers helped President-elect Donald Trump win the election. Assange also questioning the role his website had in the presidential race. But he stands by the accuracy of the leaked emails, which many blame for causing Hillary Clinton to lose the election.
We have said repeatedly over the last 2 months that our source is not the Russian government and it is not a state party.
Meantime, Democrats in Congress are already trying to put up roadblocks to Mr. Trump's agenda. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer is warning the new administration they will not be a rubber stamp for his proposals.
Schumer's using a little Trumpism here. He's making maximalist threats. He is saber rattling in hopes, I assume, that he can get something better down the road, get some leverage out of this deal.
The Democrats are already trying to block the president-elect's cabinet picks.
I think the Democrats are just floundering right now. They know that they have to appear to their base to be saying no, but that is going to drive moderate and middle-class America away from them at a very rapid pace.
President Obama is also defying the new administration as he prepares to transfer alleged terrorists out of Guantanamo Bay.
With these 19 people that he most likely will transfer out by January 20, many of these are going to be the exact same people that Donald Trump is going to have to go back in his administration that they're going to have to capture.
The president, like Donald Trump, now plans to hold his first press conference since Election Day on January 11th. One of the things Trump campaigned on was a promise to get rid of the Affordable Care Act, as you know. And today, Vice President-elect Mike Pence will be on Capitol Hill to talk with Republican lawmakers about exactly what they will do. But President Obama is hoping to save at least some of his signature health care law. The president will also be on the Hill today to meet with Democrats about exactly how to defend Obamacare. Allison, Steve?
All right, thank you very much. 7:04 right now. Happening today in the district, Mayor Muriel Bowser taking action regarding the GPS monitors that some criminals wear.
Deficiencies in that GPS program came to light last week after the brutal murder of Tricia McCauley. The suspect charged with her murder, Dwayne Johnson, had several run-ins with the law, was supposed to have a GPS monitoring device on at the time of his arrest.
Fox 5's Anjali Hempo live at the Wilson Building with what will happen today. Anjali, good morning.
Well, good morning, guys. Yeah, around 10 o'clock this morning, the mayor, as well as other D.C. city officials, they'll all meet here in the Wilson building to sign legislation into law aimed at closing a loophole that previously did not properly punish people equipped with those electronic monitoring devices who either removed, disabled, or tampered with them. Now, this move, as you said, is getting a lot of attention and was prompted by the recent murder of a 46-year-old actress and yoga teacher, Trisha McCauley. She disappeared Christmas Day, her body found in her car the next day. And this man, 29-year-old Dwayne Adrian Johnson, was arrested. Now, court records show Johnson had an extensive criminal history, including several theft charges. And just days before Trisha's murder, Johnson was ordered by a D.C. judge to wear a GPS monitoring device for a previous theft charge. Now, there's no record he ever came back to court to get set up with one. And of course, after McCauley's murder, there was a lot of criticism of why Johnson was still out on the streets of D.C. Here's what Deputy Mayor for Public Safety Kevin Donahue had to say.
Nothing demoralizes cops or the people working with the cops more than seeing someone come out on the street after everyone knows the violent act they committed. What we need to do and what we want to recommend is that people look at the sentencing guidelines that look at not the vast majority of nonviolent offenders. We're talking about repeat violent offenders who keep committing the same acts.
Meanwhile, at the very same time this legislation is supposed to be signed, Johnson is in court just down the street from here for an unrelated theft charge. For now, we're live in Northwest. Anjali Hemphill, Fox 5 Local News.
Anjali, thanks. 7:06 right now. We're going to get the warm day of the week today, it sounds like.
Yeah, and the sunshine back. Haven't seen it in a few days. Sunny and mild and breezy this afternoon. The breezes are indicating colder temperatures on the way, though. Cold front's coming through. Ooh, got a lot of weather to talk about.
So
let's get to it.
today.
Let's get right to it.
Yeah, let's get to it. As mentioned, briefly mild today. Temperatures 10+ degrees above normal this afternoon. All right, 45. Not too bad out there early. We have had fog, although that's been burning off here pretty quick. Dulles and BWI Marshall in the low 40s. Looking at our satellite radar, cold front just out to the west. Some very light sprinkles and rain showers in the mountains. Will not make it in here, but as that front breezes through, you'll notice the wind's picking up out of the west, and that'll indicate that our front has moved on in. The cold air with the front is lagging, so that means a one-day warm-up, one-day special today with temperatures in the mid-50s, maybe upper 50s with afternoon sunshine. So enjoy a beautiful day. These warmer temperatures will not last, and believe it or not, we have light accumulations of
SNOW?
Snow, you can say it.
Yes, in the forecast by early Friday, so stay tuned. I'll talk all about that momentarily.
Everybody's going to need to stay tuned, get all the details from you. Thanks, Doc.
It's a good day.
You're doing a good service.
Thank you.
Hi, Erin. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Busy day, 7:07 right now. Wet roads and problems. This is a live look in Aspen Hill, the fallen tree that we're tracking. Connecticut Avenue southbound out at Grand Prix Road. You can see police out there. Really going to take a while to get that mess cleaned up. Earlier crash where a car hit that tree, knocking it down. So a lot of debris on the road. I would say exit north of that point at Belpre to save yourself some time. Northbound traffic affected as well. Take Georgia, and keep in mind if you're taking Metro bus, buses on the way to Friendship Heights might be experiencing delays because of that detour. Aside from that live look, let's switch things over and take a look at our cameras. We do have some problems. This is 66 on the westbound side. Crash moved over to the shoulder as you head out by Nutley Street, but you can see that delay. Big delays leading towards that point from the Beltway. And then also we do have a new crash, 95 northbound at Cherry Hill outside the Beltway as you head down towards College Park, causing delays. We'll keep you updated. Metro rails are on time right now. 270 southbound remains jacked through Urbana. Back to you.
Erin, thanks very much. Developing right now, the search continues for this man missing since December. 36-year-old John Donahoe was last seen at his family's home in Bethesda.
Since then, surveillance video has surfaced of this woman using his credit card. Police made an arrest that could get them one step closer to finding out what happened to him.
All right, Melanie Almwick this morning in Bethesda with more. Is I think not just the family, but police, everybody else still looking for answers in this case, Mel.
That's right. This arrest certainly has not brought any conclusion to the case, and police are not releasing the woman's name because they still have questions for her about how she got the credit card, whether she knows anybody else, or whether someone else may be involved in this case. So certainly no closure here. One thing police did tell us is that John Donahoe and this woman did not know each other. It was December 13th when he was last seen, as you said, at his parents' place. Apparently he was there. Family went out to run some errands, came back, and he was gone and they never heard from him. His family says he has no history of disappearing, and there were no known conflicts that would have made him want to take off. Now, after 2 weeks of waiting and wondering, finally a clue on December 28th in the form of store surveillance video. Now, that video showed a woman with a child walking into the Beautyland store in Upper Marlboro, Maryland. There she made a $700 purchase with a credit card that was traced back to Donahoe. Now, according to Montgomery County Police, the credit card was also used at retail shops in the Hyattsville area. For now, this woman is just facing credit card fraud charges. Now, police are...
Well, the investigation continues. They are making some progress. The woman who used the card was identified, and so we know about that part. John is still missing, and we haven't heard from him. We don't know where he is. If anybody has seen him or his car, please call the police and let us know that he's hopefully he's safe.
That is Bob Donahoe, John's father. He is a prominent real estate developer in the area. Now, as you heard him say, police are still looking for information on John's car. It's similar to the one you see here on your screen, a black 2011 Chevy Equinox with Maryland tag number 2AK8853. Police have been looking for any sign of that vehicle. So far, they say there have been no parking tickets that have been given to that vehicle anywhere in the area. Also, it has not been detected on any of the many license plate readers around the area. Donahoe's family is considering now, guys, offering a cash reward for information, but we don't have anything official to release on that to you just yet. Live in Bethesda, I'm Melanie Olwick, Fox 5 Local News.
Also in Montgomery County, the search continues for whomever shot a dog as the dog sat on its front porch in Rockville. Roxy the Rottweiler is recovering, but sadly, veterinarians had to amputate her entire right leg. The front leg. Roxy's owner says he has no idea who shot his dog on Friday night, but he's now planning to move as a result. He has also set up a GoFundMe page to cover Roxy's medical expenses.
Also sad news coming out of Montgomery County after the sudden and unexpected death of the county's health officer. Dr. Alder Tillman of Rockville died from a brain aneurysm yesterday. She had been the county's health officer for 13 years. Tillman oversaw the county's public health system as well as the expansion of programs that serve the uninsured. Still to come, new details in a deadly pesticide poisoning that left 4 children dead. Still ahead, why authorities have now launched a criminal investigation.
And disturbing video going viral, a school resource officer slamming a student to the ground. What led to the encounter and how the school is responding. It's 7:12. We're back in just 2 minutes.
Washington area Toyota dealers on-time traffic.
Wild weather continues to move across the country, with several people being killed, and more storms could be on the way later this week. About half a dozen people are dead after a severe storm swept through the southeast. Meantime, snow in the northwest and midwest continues to cause problems for motorists. In Northern California, residents are worried about heavy, wet snow causing roof and power line collapses.
All right, well, no snow here. It's going to be a beautiful day. Oh, that's right, Al. Not yet. There's a look at the Capitol Dome. Let's check with Tucker, who is outside this morning, enlisting a little hope for do the heavy lifting when it comes to snow. Hi, guys.
Tucker and Mike. Good morning.
Hey, guys. Yeah, I got my little sidekick here, Mike, who's my weather colleague. All right, hey, yeah, we're all about the snow. We want to talk about what the upcoming event, but let me mention quickly, if you're headed out today, a little fog early, 57 this afternoon. Sunshine up ahead of the cold air that gets in here at night, right?
It's gonna be nice. It actually doesn't feel that bad out here for January, huh?
Doesn't feel that bad out here. All right, let's go to the maps. We want to talk about the setup for late Thursday, early Friday. And there you go. So let's put this map in motion. It's going to be a little upper level piece of energy. This is not going to be a major event, but we haven't had much in the way of any events, right, Mike, so far this season?
No, this might be our first measurable snow.
Yeah, so maybe an inch or around an inch of snow is possible. It'll be cold enough that it sticks. And because of that, I would expect that we'll likely have a few delays around here or maybe more than a few, early Friday morning. Now, the reason we brought Mike out is the Weather Service, the National Weather Service out in Sterling, is doing some added benefits for all of us. What are they up to?
Yeah, this is something they added this year after, if you recall, that couple of days before the blizzard last year, we had that half an inch to an inch of snow that came right in the middle of rush hour, evening rush hour. Everything locked up. It took people, there's some pictures of it live on your screen there.
I think we all remember it.
Yeah, it was just, it was not a lot of snow, but it was
so
very cold, and it kind of locked everything up. So they're issuing this new report called the Potential Winter Commuting Hazard, the National Weather Service is. They should issue this at some point tomorrow, which is basically just an alert to let people know at home and let various companies and organizations know around our regions that clean the streets that they could potentially be dealing with a commuter situation on Friday morning.
So will they be tweeting that out?
They'll be tweeting it out. They'll be putting it on their Facebook page. But of course, we'll grab it and we'll put it on ours.
Okay, so we'll look for it. All right, let's go back to that 7-day forecast quickly and before we wrap it up. I just want to mention we have this first event on Friday, and then we have a secondary event on Saturday. We've got to watch that carefully. Right now, it looks like it's just south and east enough that we miss it, but it's a really close call for the weekend. So after not much winter weather, we got two possibilities coming up. I think Friday's a guarantee.
Friday's guaranteed. Saturday's a question mark, but it's going to get cold.
There you go. All right, let's toss it into Aaron. Aaron, traffic running smoothly, judging from the noise behind me here on Wisconsin.
That's great that Wisconsin looks good, but in Aspen Hill, we're still tracking this breaking news. Earlier crash where a car hit a tree, causing some big problems. Southbound Connecticut Avenue closed at Grand Prix Road. Police out there, huge down tree that they need to get cleared out of the way. Exit at Belle Pre, save yourself some time. Northbound side may be affected as well. You can always exit at Georgia, and Metro Bus advising folks that there might be a delay if you're headed towards Friendship Heights because of this detour. Let's go ahead and switch it over to our cameras right now. Outside the Beltway in College Park, 95 on the southbound side by Cherry Hill Road. Crash blocking the right shoulder and right lanes. Because of that, delays actually extending past Maryland 212 now all the way back to the ICC. So from the ICC down to the top side of the Beltway, you need to add about 15 extra minutes. As we forward our cameras, this is a look at the westbound side of 66 out by Nutley Street. An earlier crash cleared, but residual delays lingering from the Beltway past Nutley. Atypical slowdowns. Eastbound side also very heavy, 234 to 28. And look at the bottom side of the Beltway. Heavier fog here. Use your low beams. Beltway inner and outer loop heavy at 295 northbound. A crash blocking 2 lanes by Laboratory Road, causing big delays as well. Back to you guys.
All right, Aaron, thanks. It is 7:19 right now.
Let's check some other top stories this morning. Federal authorities and airline officials trying to figure out how a baggage handler ended up in the cargo hold of a plane that took off in Charlotte and landed at Dulles Airport. It's an update for you. We told you about this first yesterday. The FAA says they hope to talk to that man today. The agency says it wants to make sure the man's cargo loading company followed proper procedures to make sure that all workers were out of the cargo hold before the doors were closed and the plane took off.
Apparently he left his ID behind, and that sparked the investigation trying to find where that gentleman was. Criminal investigation now underway in Texas after an apparent poisoning left 4 children dead. A woman inside the home also was critically injured. Officials say the poisoning came from a gas emitted from a pesticide that was placed underneath that home. But authorities are looking into how the family got a hold of that chemical, which is only supposed to be sold to those with a professional license. The children's father said he bought the pesticide from a friend.
A police officer in North Carolina has been placed on administrative leave for slamming a student to the ground during a fight in a school cafeteria. This happened in Rollsville. In an 8-second video posted on Twitter, it shows the officer who works as a resource officer at that school slam a teenager, then pull her up to her feet. The student claims that she was just trying to break up a fight, and she was shocked, she says, when she was thrown down. Police and school officials are investigating. The student was not seriously hurt.
Video out of Philadelphia showing a massive fight breaking out, and one officer is on leave after she reportedly punched a girl. You can see the officer on top of the girl. The city's commissioner says the video does not tell the entire story. Apparently, the juvenile slapped the officer's glasses off, and she threw the juvenile onto the ground and slapped her. The officer is off the streets this morning pending the outcome of the investigation.
Well, did you get your flu shot? Coming out, why health officials right here in our area are reminding everyone of the dangers of flu season.
First, though, a teenager catching one of America's most high-ranking politicians off guard with that move right there. How the teen's father is now responding publicly and to his son.
Washington area Toyota dealers on-time traffic.
Right there. Okay.
It just looks weird. That's House Speaker Paul Ryan. He seemed very confused right there when a congressman's son was apparently dabbing during the photo op. Everybody else is swearing in. It's the swearing in ceremony for new House members. That's the son of Kansas GOP Representative Roger Marshall. The son started to dab during the photo with the family and Ryan asked him if he was going to sneeze. He was just like, nope, just trying to dab.
Okay, that's on a loop. I was hoping that whole thing didn't happen twice.
Multiple times.
Okay.
After the incident, Ryan later tweeted, he still doesn't get what dabbing is. The father, though, did, and did not seem pleased about it. He later tweeted to the House Speaker, just so you know, Paul Ryan, he's grounded. And that's as much as he would say.
Okay. Well, with just days left in office, it seems Vice President Joe Biden has met his toughest critic. While attending yesterday's swearing in of congressional senators, Vice President Biden was mingling with the crowd when he tried to give this little baby a kiss. Let's see it.
Well, he just
did he try?
He got dissed.
He did? Yep. Okay.
She's like, not gonna happen.
She wanted nothing to do with him. She's like stranger danger.
Nope.
Oh, denied. She's so cute. Okay. She turned her head, of course, when he leaned in. But as I said, stranger danger.
It's 7:25 right now.
Wait a minute, Allison. Steve knows exactly what that feels like.
Oh, Steve.
You were sitting on that one for a while.
Yeah, I was. I really was. 45 in Washington. Hey, wind south-southwest at 8. Guess what? We're going to be for I don't want to call it warm, a mild one today. Mid to upper 50s. So here's a front right here. That's going to mix the fog that we have here early out. And we'll be in for partial sunshine. This front actually will usher in much, much colder air, but it won't get in here till later tonight. Quickly, that little batch of snow is what we're going to watch develop into a weak system for us, but significant enough that we could have some light snow accumulations around here early Friday, perhaps an inch or around an inch, and it'll be cold enough that it'll stick. So just keep an eye on that early forecast Friday morning, and then we'll have to watch for a coastal storm on Saturday. But it looks like right now it'll be just far enough away we'll get some clouds. Okay, that is a weather update in brief. I'll have more momentarily. Aaron is back with roads.
That's right, Tucker, and we're tracking a lot of fog and a lot of problems this morning. Starting you off with the most impressive thing we've seen on the roads. Unfortunately, car hit a tree. It's a really large down tree across Connecticut Avenue southbound at Grand Prix Road. This is also impacting the northbound side, so as you head out between Georgia Avenue and Grand Prix, watch out for delays in both directions. Traffic rerouting could cause some Metro bus delays. We'll certainly keep you updated on that. As we take a look at our cameras right now, 95 on the southbound side as you come down from Cherry Hill Road. Earlier crash cleared. You're still heavy from 212 down to the Beltway. Give yourself about 10 extra minutes. Northbound side quiet as you head towards Baltimore. I want to show you a look at the bottom side of the Beltway. Pretty impressive fog right now. Inner and outer loop very slow. Use your low beams out by 295. Inner loop jams through Oxon Hill. Outer loop heavy as well because let's go ahead and make a move over to our maps. 295 on the northbound side is dealing with a big crash blocking 2 lanes at Laboratory Road. Because those right lanes are blocked, you're jammed from the Beltway to that crash scene. And then a person hit by a car on Arlington Boulevard at Allen Street. Slow traffic from the Beltway to Graham Road. Back to you, Allison and Steve.
All right, Aaron, thanks. More trouble this morning for one of D.C.'s most popular attractions, the Washington Monument. Left in the dark. Still ahead, what's causing the latest issue.
First, though, the first full work day for the new Congress. President Obama's health care takes center stage. A closer look at how the Republican-controlled House and Senate may tackle this controversial issue. Back in a moment.
Washington area Toyota dealers on-time traffic.
Wow, Tucker, care to explain what this is? It is fog. You can't really see too much out there this morning, so we're going to keep an eye on it for you. It will impede your vision in some places, though, and that might have an impact on your traffic commute this morning. We'll check in with Aaron in just a couple of minutes, too. First, let's recap your top stories, though, at 7:30 this morning. Some breaking news coming out of Prince George's County following reports that a broken water main in Oxon Hill, Maryland is flooding some homes now. WSOC confirms a busted main near the 4900 block of Wheeler Road has occurred. We've taken a few calls that some homes in that area have been flooded. We have some crews on the way to check that one out for you. Also this morning, a woman under arrest in connection to a missing Bethesda man. The man who was missing is 36-year-old John Donahoe. He was last seen at his family's Bethesda home on December 12th. Police obtained surveillance video of a woman using his credit card at a beauty supply store in Upper Marlboro. Now, right now, they are not identifying her, but they do have her in custody to talk to her at least. Donahoe's car is still missing as well. And it's a murder case that rocked D.C. last month. The accused killer was supposed to have a GPS monitoring device on, but never got one. A week later, he's accused of killing a woman. It's cases like that Mayor Muriel Bowser wants to avoid. Today, she will sign new GPS monitoring legislation that will close any loopholes to keep criminals from getting away without wearing that device. Al?
7:31. Thanks, Steve. Today marks the first full week day of the newly sworn-in Congress. They arguably face a daunting agenda of legislative priorities. Front and center will be the Affordable Care Act, or Obamacare. Joining us live from Capitol Hill this morning, Republican Congressman Rob Whitman of Virginia. Sir, good morning.
Good morning, Allison. How are you this morning?
I'm doing well, thank you, and Happy New Year to you. I want to talk about what you see as the headline for this new Congress. What are some of the key points here and priorities?
Well, I think we have our work cut out for us. I want to make sure that we are actually reforming how Congress works, making sure we get budgets done on time, get appropriations bills done on time. We also need to make sure that our military is going to be rebuilt to make sure it's available and able to meet the challenges going forward. I want to make sure, too, that we are doing tax reform, making sure that we are doing that for hardworking Americans and making sure we're doing things to encourage businesses to grow here in the United States, as well as making sure, too, that we reform our health care system to assure that health care and insurance is truly affordable. I think those are all things that are achievable and things we have to get done here, I believe, this coming year.
The Affordable Care Act right there in the target of the GOP as we move forward now with President-elect Trump. What are you hearing as far as what will be taken away? Are we talking total dismantlement here of the Affordable Care Act?
No, I believe the important provisions of being able to stay on your parents' plan if you are 26 years of age or younger, to make sure, too, that you can continue to purchase insurance regardless of pre-existing conditions. That'll be the basis of the formation of which we keep going forward. I want to make sure some of the other problematic elements of it, and that is lack of choice, increasing health care premiums, I believe that those can be addressed by making a more patient-centered system, making sure that we are putting decisions in the hands of patients and providers. I think there are ways we can do that to empower those patients, making sure that you can purchase insurance across state lines, doing some tort reform, making sure, too, we have other options for individuals to determine how they best utilize their resources in providing coverage from themselves. And that would include things like patient spending accounts for health care, those sorts of things. I think a transition from the current system into those options for folks is the way we do that to make sure it's not disruptive. I want to make sure that patients are able to keep their plan, but also to transition into a time where we have more choices and where they can financially tailor the plans to best suit their own needs, but to make sure, too, it meets their family budget needs. I think there's a way we can do that without interrupting coverage to make sure that they indeed have what they need and have the flexibility necessary to meet the needs of their families.
I want to get your opinion on what's going on. Lots of news about this Russian involvement with our U.S. elections. What are your thoughts on this? President-elect Trump clearly casting doubt on the fact that Russia had any involvement in what went on here in these United States.
Well, I think there are two separate questions here. One is the information that was out there concerning this election. I don't think you can point to any one piece of information that determined the outcome of elections. I think the American people are pretty perceptive about what's going on there. I think the information that was leaked is indeed a leakage of information. That information, none of it was shown to not be factual. It was indeed communications that went back and forth between Hillary Clinton and folks in her campaign. The second issue is, what are the security issues, not only with Russia, but other nations, and what they're trying to do to hack into our systems? I think those are two separate issues. I certainly believe we ought to address security issues with Russian hacking, but to say somehow that what Russia has attempted to do has had some kind of influence on our elections, I think is a bridge too far, especially when it comes to how the outcome of the election might have been affected. You didn't see a word out there about saying, hey, a vote that was cast somehow for Hillary Clinton became a vote for Donald Trump. That didn't happen. The bottom line is the information that was out there that was leaked was indeed factual information. So I want to make sure we look at the security of our nation's systems from top to bottom. bottom. But I think it's really a bridge too far to say somehow that any type of security issues with not only our systems, but systems that involve communications with the political party somehow had an influence on the outcome.
We're out of time, but I got to ask you this question. I've been hearing it from our viewers. Some question about why the GOP would want to roll back any power of the Office of Congressional Ethics. I know that was put aside and thrown out, but why would that even be a mission of the Republicans?
Well, I think what we want to do is to make sure that there's due process for members so that you can face your accuser, you know where these accusations are coming from. So I think that reform is absolutely necessary. It does need to be done in an open forum. Doing it through the rules process where you have a closed forum in the debate of that, I don't think best serves the interest of the nation, the best interest of our constituents. So I want to make sure it's an open and direct forum where we get feedback from the public. And I want to make sure, too, the public understands the problems with the Office of Congressional Ethics. I think there's some lack of transparency there, some lack of due process. I want to make sure the American public understands that, understands what we want to do to make sure that we stand by accountability for members of Congress, but to make sure, too, that the members of Congress have their due process rights preserved, which we, as well as others, are guaranteed under the Constitution. But the American public needs to understand that transparency in that process is necessary. You can't do that in the way the process took place yesterday. That's why it was set aside for us to do that in an open and transparent way.
We are all looking forward to bipartisan cooperation with this new Congress, sir. We appreciate you joining us this morning.
Allison, thank you very much.
Okay. Congressman Rob Whitman of Virginia joining the show today.
I was going to talk to him. Let's check in with Tucker. Look at our forecast.
Hi. Yeah, lots going on. Let's get right to it. 45 in Washington. A mild one today, and we're going to get a chance to dry out. I know we got fog and clouds out there early, but we'll actually get afternoon sunshine, mid to upper 50s. Look at that cold air back in Chicago, 10, 27 Detroit. Guess what? That'll get in here tonight, and we'll be well below normal temperature-wise tomorrow. The actual front in western Maryland will roll through here shortly. And as mentioned, we're going to be in for much colder air later tonight. So enjoy this afternoon. It'll be the best of the next 7. Hey, early Friday. Looks like we got some light snow accumulations around here. I'll have much more on that coming up at 7:45. But again, light snow accumulations Friday. Could be a secondary storm on Saturday. So a lot going on weather-wise to talk about. All right, Erin's here with roads.
Yeah, and fog's still causing problems right now at 7:38. Also dealing with, take a look at this. This is the Beltway at 295. Some heavy fog, dense conditions causing slow traffic on the inner and outer loop. Watch for that heavy volume. Use your low beams, reduce your speeds. Let's move it over to a look at our map because we're also dealing with a crash just off the Beltway. 295 northbound, jam-packed from the Beltway towards Laboratory Road. Crash blocks 2 right lanes. Inner loop especially heavy from 5 across the Wilson Bridge. Please use caution. Denser patches of fog still lingering around the area. Let's hop outside and do a tour of some of our cameras because that's not the only place dealing with fog or slowdowns. Aside from that, this is 66 on the eastbound side. Let me get out of the way there out in Centerville. Crash is blocking the left shoulder. Very sluggish traffic from 234 through 28. We'll keep you updated. At least Metro's on time. Keep it to Fox 5. We'll be right back. 270 looking pretty good behind me.
Washington area Toyota dealers on time traffic.
It's 7:41 and we're back with a health alert now and alarming news for people with diabetes. The price of insulin skyrocketing. Many insulin brands have risen as much as $200 in the last 3 years. Medical experts say diabetes is an epidemic here in the United States. It affects about 29 million people.
Well, hopefully you got your flu shot because the CDC says right after the holidays, a lot of people came down with the flu. Health officials say flu cases in Virginia are now widespread, and it is expected to get worse. The CDC expects flu activity to increase and peak in most parts of the country over the next couple of weeks. Now, besides getting your seasonal vaccine, the CDC is reminding everybody, make sure you wash your hands frequently, cover your mouth when you cough, and stay away from other people when you are sick. Don't get them sick as well.
Okay, congratulations in order for singer Janet Jackson. She's 50 years old, you know, and the only reason we're even mentioning that is because she's 50 and a new mom. The pop star welcomed a baby boy with her husband yesterday. A spokesperson for the singer says she had, quote, a stress-free delivery and is resting comfortably. Jackson postponed her tour last year to begin her family.
Hey, good for her. Congratulations. Yeah. 7:42 right now.
So cute.
A football star scoring a touchdown off the field with one of his youngest fans. The heartwarming details are next.
And she's back. Can rest easy. Kim Kardashian back on social media.
Did she go away?
She did go away for like 3 months.
What?
Anywho, she has an adorable family album that she's sharing with us.
Pictures?
Yeah.
Aw.
All right, welcome back. Lots and lots of weather to talk about. Feel free to tweet me at TuckerFox5 if you have questions, because I only get 2 minutes. What's that? You can tweet me about anything, Allison. Absolutely. There you go. TuckerFox5. But I'm going to put lots of weather information about what we can expect over the next couple of days on there shortly. 45 now in Washington, 49 Annapolis, 46 in Frederick. Temperatures mild to start the day. Hey, mid-50s this afternoon, mid to upper 50s. So we may warm up to about 55, 57. We have been dealing with this fog overnight. Now visibility is a mile at Reagan National, up to 6 at Dulles, which is great because that was 0 an hour ago, 3/4 of a mile at Leonardtown. So pockets of fog continue to be an issue here early, but it won't last. Atmosphere will get mixed here pretty quick with the passage of this frontal system, and we should be in for plenty of sunshine. We actually deserve some sunshine after a couple days of clouds and rain, and that'll arrive later this morning during the afternoon. So today's a good one. Looking a little bit down the road, this is our next weather feature of note, and that is a very weak little upper-level piece of energy. I won't get too complicated with it, but the bottom line is it's going to kind of round the trough here and then back up into the mid-Atlantic and form a coastal low by Friday morning. And the bottom line for us is it looks like we're going to get a period of light snow around here overnight Thursday into early Friday. Temperatures are going to be cold. That cold front that comes through this morning will bring in much colder air tonight. So this will be an all-snow event for us. It won't be a major event. It'll be a minor event. But as we mentioned earlier this hour, remember last year? It was almost that inch of snow that we got before the blizzard that caused the most problems. And I would say widespread. We'll probably get a coating to about an inch with this one. Of course, we'll have to tweak this a little bit, but there's one of our RPM models trying to give us a coating to about an inch of snow across the area by early Friday. So, you know, I'm not sure it's going to cause complete havoc on the roadways, but it will certainly cause a few issues here early Friday. Also want to mention Saturday. We've been watching a coastal storm for the last couple of days. It's still hanging out just to our south and east, but it's going to be a really close call. So you're going to want to keep a close eye on the forecast here over the next couple of days, as there's the possibility that could track a little closer and bring us more snow on Saturday. Notice the cold temperatures. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, we do not get out of the 30s. Overnight lows in the 20s and teens. All right, 57 today. Enjoy it because cold weather on the way. Again, TuckerFox5 if you want to ask me questions about the snow. Aaron, hi.
I can't even think about snow yet because we're still seeing so much fog causing problems.
I know.
748, no fog outside the Beltway right now. This isn't Aspen Hill, but we are seeing problems. Earlier crash involving a car that hit a tree, huge tree. Now that it's kind of brightened up, you can get a better perspective. Police blocking that. That's Connecticut Avenue southbound out by Grand Prix Road. And because of that, we're also seeing delays on the northbound side. You have to detour around that. Now I would love to give you a tour of our area with our cameras because a lot of fog causing delays. This is a look at the Beltway, inner and outer loop out by 295. Delays in both directions, especially sluggish on the inner loop from 5 across the Wilson Bridge. Earlier crash 295 northbound by Laboratory Road has cleared, but residual delays lingering from the Beltway towards the 11th Street Bridge. We do have a crash blocking the shoulder out by 29 on the left shoulder. Traffic is very slow from 234 through 28, so be prepared for that as you get into Centerville. Probably about a 35-minute delay from 234 on through. This is actually 95 out by Dale City. Camera went out there, but I wanted to show you crash blocking the shoulder, but a ton of fog. Use your low beams. Please take it slow. Metro's on time, and 270 not dealing with fog. Much later volume there. Back to you, Allison and Steve.
Hey, bring it back to Sports Breakfast.
Right.
Wait for the call.
I've missed it.
There it is.
Alex Ovechkin.
Alex Ovechkin.
22 seconds is all it takes.
Overtime win. So exciting at Verizon Center last night. That win ends the Maple Leafs 6-game win streak. The Caps entered the third period down 4-2. They got 2 goals in 79 seconds to tie it up. And then you just heard the call in overtime. Game-winning goal by Alex Ovechkin, and that ties him for the NHL record for overtime game-winning goals.
All right.
But I'm not surprised by that. He's Alex Ovechkin, the grade 8.
The grade 8.
Wizards got off to a good start yesterday. Well, that's a technical foul. You can't hang on the rim that long, Mr. Bradley Beal. But They hung in it until the end, ended up losing 113-105. John Wall with a game-high 27 points. Dallas hit 17 three-pointers in the game. Tough to overcome that. Wizards lose 113-105 again. Okay, Al, here's a great story for you.
Okay.
Houston Texans star, defensive big man,
Yes.
J.J. Watt, scoring a
Watt.
touchdown off the field with one of his youngest fans.
On Monday, a man tweeted Watt saying a little boy named Noah had been hit by a car while wearing Watt's jersey, and paramedics had to cut the jersey off that little boy. So Watt responded by saying, "That's terrible. Is he okay? Tell him I'll bring him a new jersey tomorrow."
Well, guess what? Watt made good on that promise. Yesterday, he visited little Noah in the hospital, and he brought him a brand new autographed jersey for that little boy. And the little boy's legs are covered up because he had some pretty bad injuries on his legs. A GoFundMe page has been set up to help with his medical expenses. But nice move off the field for J.J. Watt, delivering on his promise to make that little boy happy.
Now, mind you, he has 3.1 million followers.
Yeah, and that tweet got through to him.
And that tweet got through to him. So that's a miracle in itself, and that's just awesome.
Yep, great move. I love to see that. And the fact that he was there the next day, he was just like, all right, let's do this. Let's do a good thing.
That is cool.
That's
Power to do good. That's like,
Yep.
Kev, that's what you're always talking about. Celebrities are given the power and the resources
Use it
to
wisely.
do so much good.
He
Right.
has the complete resources. Every celebrity should be doing things like that. I mean, especially because
And a lot do. To be fair, a lot
they
do.
do. They do. But every one of them should
some
be.
don't.
It should be a requirement of their celebrity
To
job.
give back.
So Tucker, when we were talking about Christmas time, Tucker was saying, all I want for Christmas is Kim Kardashian to return to social media.
You know, I remember that.
Yeah, and he was like very excited about. I mean,
and you said patience.
Patience, Tucker. She hasn't tweeted since
time.
October, since the robbery. So you know, Tucker, Merry Christmas. Late. I'm sorry. Kim Kardashian is back on social media. Kardashian first tweeted a photo of her, Kanye, North, and Saint, which received over 100,000 retweets and 312,000 favorites. Again, her last tweet was October 2nd, before the Paris robbery. But she also tweeted and retweeted a bunch of her fans saying, you know, we missed you. But then I will say this, and I know we talk about the Kardashians all the time. She posted this video on her Twitter page, which in my opinion was very emotional. I actually thought it was kind of cool to see her and Kanye in this light, like being parents. It almost seems like these videos weren't shot on purpose to be posted. They were just shot as memories. I don't know that for sure. But when you see the kids running around, Kanye holding his kids, I don't know. I thought it was kind of sweet. And to me, I watched the whole video, and it gave me a little different perspective on them as a couple.
They're family.
I liked it. I love the shot right here. Look at Kanye. When the kid running. I thought that was cool. This to me was what social media was made for. We get to see these little intricacies and these scenes behind the scenes. I don't know. I found that video
I'm with you,
touching.
Kev. I'm with you.
Made me tear up a little bit. And the
Okay,
music was
well,
great. No.
I might not have.
Listen.
But I'm with you.
We judge the Kardashians a lot, but that video was cool.
Let the record show I do not judge the Kardashians.
Well, people talk about them.
A lot of people bash them. And in all seriousness, when I saw that earlier, and I like that. I mean, I guess it's hard.
But it was cool.
It's a life-changing incident to have a gun in your face.
Right. But it also shows me that media does spin people's lives in certain ways.
They add to it. They add
things
to
are
it as
covering.
well.
Of course they do.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I just feel like it's interesting to see that. I don't know. I like that. Anyways.
They're
all right.
humans. It reminded you of their
They're real people.
humanity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Mariah Carey's New Year's Rockin' Eve show. Drama continues. Seacrest's co-host Jenny McCarthy is speaking out now on the matter. She took to her Sirius XM show saying, quote, mouths were hanging open. Everyone was shocked. We only gave you a shortened version of that. We had to sit through another song of her walking around, and it was just so bad. And then for a moment, I said to myself, take a step back, Jenny, and try to find some empathy right now. And I did. Now, she claims that she started to feel bad for it because it was a train wreck of her performance. But she said this, which I found interesting. Now, I do understand our egos, of course, want to blame everyone but itself for mistakes. But I literally had a visceral reaction to her saying that Dick Clark Productions did this on purpose and for ratings. So she went on to say this, and she said the truth of the matter is Mariah didn't do a sound check. And she said it there. She did whatever you would like to call a dance rehearsal, holding her gold microphone, and she stood to the side of the stage while she had a stand-in do her sound check. And she said also one of the things is the monitors were still going. So she said that she could actually hear the monitors. By the way, before I walked up here, I watched a video of Adele having a very similar situation where her PA went out.
Yeah. Right.
And I posted it on my Facebook.
That was at an award show, right?
No, that's another performance, but this was in April in Birmingham. And the PA went out, and what she did was she allowed the audience and her to sing with her.
Well, that's what Mariah tried to do.
Right, and I just feel like there's a difference. I don't know. I'm not judging Mariah. I think there's a difference in how each artist handled it. But also Mariah's on New Year's Eve. It's loud. It's Times Square. So I'm not judging Mariah Carey, but I think she could have handled it differently.
When you're watching it, she did say, "We didn't do a sound check for this, folks." And when you're watching, the blame seems to be on the production. Right, and so you got to own it.
Just take full responsibility for it, and then it's like a comedian bombing. You know, just take ownership for it and just kind of move on. But
I'm really just surprised that there's still people that have not yet weighed in on this topic.
Yeah. Oh, this is brand new.
Well, maybe Tucker would like to weigh in. It's Tucker time. Good
Now,
morning,
Jenny McCarthy
Tucker.
has said her piece, Tucker. I think you're the last person to comment.
Tucker,
on
how do you
Mariah
feel about Kim Kardashian's return to Twitter? You were so happy.
I'm just glad to see they're back.
Yeah.
44 in Washington. Hey, winds out south here at 10. Got lots of weather to talk about. Right now, it's fog. Later today, it'll be mild temperatures, mid-50s. This front, though, should mix up the atmosphere enough. We'll get some afternoon sunshine, get a chance to dry out. We'll take that. But much, much colder air on the way later tonight. And daytime highs by tomorrow, they don't get out of the 30s. Do want to give you a heads up here. Early Friday morning. This will be overnight into early Friday morning. We're going to have a light period of snow around here, but perhaps some light accumulations. And we got to look out for Saturday. There's a possibility of a storm as well. That one's going to get very close to us. Okay, more weather next hour. Aaron's back with roads.
All right, right now 7:56 and it's foggy. It's jammed up around the area. We have this big down tree in Aspen Hill, Connecticut Avenue southbound out of Grand Prix Road. Police blocking the intersection. You'll have to detour north of that point at Belpre to get around it. Georgia Avenue backing up as well as we zoom in. Just an incredible cleanup they're going to need to get out of the way, so it could be out here for several hours. Police presence helping folks get around. Watch for Metro bus delays through that intersection as well as they try to detour around. Now, as we switch things over for a look at our maps, we're seeing a lot of red right now, a lot of congestion. We'll certainly keep you updated, but as you can see, this crash cleared 295 northbound up by Laboratory Road to the shoulder, but delays linger. We'll take a live look at some of those foggy cameras next. Back to you, Allison and Steve.
Aaron, thanks. Still ahead this morning, an update on the breaking news situation from Prince George's County involving flooded homes. Oh, my goodness. Early morning water break this morning. We'll take you there live next at 8.
Washington area Toyota dealers on time traffic.